Hi, Josh with Camping Cross here. This is the other video I promised you about the Osprey Exos 58. I just wanted to give you a detailed rundown of all the features of the backpack. I already talked to you about some of the things, the weight of the backpack being 2.5 pounds. The 58 in the Exos name stands for it's a 58 liter backpack. It's considered an ultralight backpack, and it does still have a frame system in it. I think it's kind of funny, you know, most backpacks, they advertise them as either an external frame or an internal frame. Well, this one's kind of unique because the frame is actually visible out here. I'm assuming you can see that. Well, it goes all the way around the entire outside of the back part of the backpack, and I think it's just unique because, you know, normally like an internal frame is inside the backpack, you don't see it. An external frame, you do see it, but it's kind of like an outside, you know, the backpack thing. This is kind of like in the middle. I don't know what you'd call it, but I think it's unique. It's pretty cool. While we're on the outside or the back of the backpack, we've got these two shoulder straps here. Each shoulder strap has a little pocket in here which is big enough to put like a granola bar in there. I think you could even use it for putting your sunglasses in there or any other types of like energy gels or whatever you might use while you're hiking on the trail. It's set up for a hydration system, and you can feed your hydration system through either side. It's got loops to put your tube through, so that way it stays in one spot, mostly in one spot, and it's either side, so it doesn't matter. And on the sternum strap here, we've got a buckle. This, on other backpacks I've had, that these have slid up and down. These are still adjustable, but they have to be pulled out, and there's 3 different slots, or 4 different slots actually, that you can pull this out and slide it through a different slot to adjust the height that the sternum strap is at. The buckle here has an emergency whistle on it, so if you're not very good at whistling, you can rely on this. I'm not, so I will be very happy that I have this. The waist belt has a pocket on either side. They're pretty decent size. Like I could see myself putting like a small digital camera in there, or like a headlamp or something like that. This kind of got like a yellow lining in it. It might make it a little bit easier. These pockets are made out of a mesh, so they're pretty lightweight. Probably have to be a little careful with what you put in there. Don't want it to snag or whatnot. The zippers on these are really nice. They're easy to pull and open and close with one hand. Obviously, if you're wearing it, there's something to hold on to it. But the waist belt is padded, but it's not like anything like overkill. I've had this pack on with, you know, about 15 pounds worth of stuff in it so far, and it's not a problem. They actually advertise this pack being able to handle weights of up to 40 pounds. I don't think I'll ever be carrying that much in it. But at the same point, you know, the shoulder straps are actually really well padded. They're probably just as padded as my old backpack, the Deuter 65+10. These feel really, really nice, and are a nice addition to the 2014 model, because the 2013, and I don't know how far back it went, but the shoulder straps were just a lot thinner, so I like that improvement. Something I think is pretty standard on Osprey packs is the trampoline mesh back here. It kind of separates where your back touches from where the pack sits on you. And so you've got a good amount of space here for air to pass through. So if you're one of those people that sweats easily, this should be really great for ventilation to keep you dry and cool during those summer hikes. While we're on the outside still, we've got 2 pockets on the outside, on either on the left or right side. These are like stretch mesh pockets here. You've got access from the top here, but you've also got access from the side. This makes it a lot easier, like if you have a water bottle and you put it in this pocket, it's a lot easier to grab a hold of it from your waist. Then I don't know, I've had trouble with pockets like this before. If you put a water bottle in there, you have to take your pack off in order to get the water bottle, but if you put it in this way, you wouldn't have to. And I think it would be just as easy to put the water bottle back in while you're still wearing the pack. Another part to the system that Osprey seems to do fairly often is their stow and go for their trekking poles. They've got this bungee loop down here with it's got like a plastic tubing over it to kind of help with it not wearing out too quickly. And so you'd stick your ends of your trekking poles in here, and then the other side would run up onto the shoulder strap here, and then you've got some bungee and another loop that you can feed this through to lock in your poles. So that's another feature. So you've got another one of these water bottle holders on the opposite side of the pack with the same kind of access. And I should also mention that the compression straps here, Osprey gives you the option of having these run on the outside of the mesh pack or on the inside, and it's just something as simple as pulling the strap out from these channels here and then rerouting it over the top. It works the same way. And I kind of see that as, you know, if you keep stuff in here and you don't want it to get squashed, you put your straps on your inside, so that way you've got access to this pocket without having to loosen up your compression straps. So now we can kind of get into the pack here. We've got 2 main clips here that we've got to undo, which is pretty typical, I guess, for backpacks. And then we can flip open the lid. I'll get to the lid, and there's another feature on the bottom I want to talk to you about as well. But just to get to this other feature here, we've got a big mesh stretch pocket here that you can stuff things into. I kind of saw it as like a quick access for bulky, not heavy things, like if you keep a rain jacket or a windbreaker, you could stuff that in here, and then if it's going to start raining, you can whip that and get that out and put it on real quickly without having to open up your pack and try and find stuff. And then they've also got these compression straps on the bottom here. These straps here, they're probably kind of hard to see, but because they're all gray. But this is meant for sleeping pad attachment. You can loosen these up and have the loops be out big enough to put your sleeping pad in there and then cinch it back down. And it also doubles as a way to minimize the pack size. So that way, if you want to use this as a day pack after you get to camp, you can cinch this, and it kind of collapses the whole bottom to make it a little bit smaller on the inside. So we go back up to the lid. We've got a top pocket in the lid. This top pocket is pretty big. Keep a lot of your essential stuff in here, like your headlamp, fire starting stuff, snacks, whatever you might need the most. I keep that up here. It's got a strap inside here for your keychain. It's got a nice little clip in there. On the inside of the lid, you've got another pocket that's a mesh pocket. You can kind of see through it for keeping additional stuff in the top lid. The top lid is actually a removable lid, and I was thinking that maybe it would be a convertible lid. I believe you could actually convert it to a day pack, but it's not designed to be a removable convertible day pack. Yeah, it's just meant to be removable if you want to save the extra weight. It's got a couple different adjustments here that you can, I don't know if you can see these loops here. There's 3 different levels of them, so you can change the height that the lid sits depending on how much gear you've got inside the backpack. There's also an adjustment on the back here for controlling the height of the lid. And then if you were to remove it entirely in order to save weight, Osprey has thrown in another awesome feature. They have something that they call the Flak Jacket, I believe. Something similar to that. So correct me if I said it wrong. But it's basically like a really minimalistic top lid that still covers up the top of your backpack for basic weather resistance and whatnot. So this can clip in just like your regular top lid when you're not using the larger top lid. So you still get kind of like a finished looking product without having to have the added weight of the top lid. So they really thought of everything when it comes to minimizing what you've got. And I really like the system that they use here to open and close the pack. A lot of times, like, you'd have to pinch a lock and then pull the lock out. Sometimes requiring 2 hands, but they've got a nice little tab here that you just grab a hold of and pull, and that gets you inside the pack. There's a retaining clip here that does kind of interfere with that being opening the entire pack, so you do have to unclip this. This I believe is just for structural rigidity, so that way the whole center line of the pack in the front stays nice and taut. So unclip that, and then you can give this a nice good pull out, and you've got the top lid open. I threw some of my stuff in here just to keep the pack full, but actually want to sit down. I'm going to get my camp chair out. So just a second. This is the A-Light Mantis. I like this chair a lot. A couple pounds and you got a backpacking chair. So let me just set this up real quick. All right. So basically, once we get inside the backpack, we're looking at not really much else left. We've got a yellow pocket here. This would be where you keep your water bladder or your hydration system, whatever you use to keep water in your pack. If it's got a loop or a hook at the top of the water bladder bag, we have a little clip here that you can hook into the loop of your hydration system to kind of keep it suspended. So that just kind of clips in there. That's kind of a cool little feature. And then we get rid of some of the stuff that's in here. I'd like to show you another one of the features I think is kind of innovative. When it comes to backpacks, a lot of times when you're reaching inside your backpack or you're looking for something that maybe is even at the bottom of your pack, you might have a lot of trouble actually getting to it or seeing what you're trying to get to. But in this pack, all these silver panels here actually do a really good job of letting light inside the pack. Now, I don't know if it would be the same case with the black and green model, but in this model it actually works very well. It's like skylighting kind of for the inside of the backpack. So if you're trying to look in to the pack, you can see you can see that there's actually quite a bit of light inside the backpack, where normally it'd just be pitch black inside there. Well, I guess as far as that goes, that's pretty much it. There's I should mention that there are a few lashing loops on the outside of the pack that you can use to attach external things to the pack. There's also like three on each side of the top lid as well, and that pretty much covers it. This pack, I'm really looking forward to using this. I think it's going to be a game changer when it comes to the really long backpacking trips. So as I use it this summer, I'll try and report back, any other issues that I have with it. But I don't see how I could have any issues. It's quite an upgrade. So let me know if you have any questions that I might not have covered in the video. And I guess we'll just see you guys later. Thanks.